Welcome back to my channel. I am ThrillRecap. Today I am going to explain a comedy romance movie named Vicky Donor, released in the year 2012. The movie is about a man named Vicky Aurora who is contacted by an infertility doctor to supply him with his sperm, and as the story unfolds, it's realized that he actually becomes the largest sperm donor for his clinic. But before we begin, beware of the spoilers. The film opens with Dr. Baldev Chadha, who is sitting in his clinic, which is called Chadha Infertility Clinic. Dr. Baldev Chadha is a well-qualified fertility expert, and he runs this fertility clinic and a sperm bank in a place called Daryaganj in New Delhi, India. He is consulting with a couple who are unable to conceive a child, and he explains how the sperm travels in the uterus, meets and fertilizes the egg, and thereafter a child is conceived. The couple listens to him attentively as he reveals that the reason they are not getting pregnant is because the sperm from the sample they selected is slow in reaching the uterus and is unable to fertilize the egg. Hearing this, the husband gets upset and asks the doctor to somehow make it work and help them conceive a child as soon as possible. Dr. Chadha looks at them as the scene changes to another couple sitting in front of him. Different couples have different demands, and some ask him for a baby that would grow up to be a businessman, while others demand their children to be like famous actors, and he also pretends and basically gives false promises that he would be able to find intended sperm donors. But then, Dr. Chadha states that he cannot guarantee if the baby will grow up to be good or bad person, because that is also dependent on parents' upbringing. In the next scene we see his assistant is waiting on him with a phone in his hand. The assistant says that the man on the phone has a problem with Dr. Chadha and is complaining about the treatment. Dr. Chadha gets irritated and asks his assistant to make an excuse and disconnect the line. Later, the assistant brings in a few sperm donors, but Dr. Chadha rejects all of them by saying that all of them are bad donors with extremely low mobility and sperm count. Enters Vicky Aurora, who also happens to be the protagonist for this movie. Vicky is walking with his dog while Dr. Chadha observes him from his balcony. Dr. Chadha sees that Vicky is selling his dog for money, and for some weird reason, Dr. Chadha believes that Vicky can become a great donor and believes he has good quality sperm. He clicks a picture of Vicky and decides to conduct a research on him to find out whether or not he should approach Vicky to donate his sperm. He keeps stalking Vicky and somehow finds out that his great-grandfather had 19 children, and so he concludes that Vicky would also have viable sperm, which can help him at his clinic. Vicky goes to a shopping mall where Dr. Chadha keeps following him, but Vicky stops him and says that he has been noticing that Dr. Chadha is following him around for quite some time. Vicky is a little annoyed and threatens Dr. Chadha to stop following him. But when the doctor offers good money in exchange for the work that he wants from Vicky, he decides to listen to the doctor. Vicky is a character who is always looking for shortcuts to make money, so it is not surprising to see him listening to the doctor. Dr. Chadha conveys that the work is little sensitive and needs to be discussed in private. They both go in his car where he asks Vicky what he thinks about sex. Vicky is offended and assumes that Dr. Chadha is a pervert and gay, but he calls him back inside the car by enlightening him that he is willing to pay a lot of money for his sperm, only if it is viable. Vicky also wants money, so he tells Dr. Chadha that he is able to have dozens of children, a fact that makes Dr. Chadha very happy because if it works, it can save his clinic and also make him a lot of money. Later on, Vicky meets a bank employee and a very hot girl named Ashima Roy, who happens to be Bengali. He was visiting the bank to deposit all the money he made from sperm donation and ends up liking the girl and flirting with her. When he leaves, another co-worker who works in the bank asks Ashima to initiate a talk with Vicky because he seems like a nice man. Late at night, Vicky is in rickshaw, which we also call as moto taxi, and he goes by the bank where he sees Ashima, who is waiting for a ride to get back home. Vicky offers her a ride and drops Ashima to her home. He does not ask her out or anything, as the rickshaw driver tells him that he could have approached the girl and tell her how serious he was for her. After a few weeks, they both decide to go on lunch, as Ashima explains that a lunch with him was necessary because he dropped her home safely and paid the rickshaw driver, so it's kind of payback from her. While at the restaurant, she asks him about where he works, but he manages to lie about it by saying that he does import-export business. Both of them have a great talk during their lunch. They even start talking to each other online and start developing feelings for each other. In the next scene we see Dr. Chadha driving his car when he gets a call from a lab technician who was testing Vicky's sperm. The technician asks Dr. Chadha about the donor. Dr. Chadha is very inquisitive as he asks the technician if everything is fine. The technician informs him that everything is more than just fine, because Vicky's sperm is very healthy, and the technician also claims that Dr. Chadha has finally found his Alexander the Great. Dr. Chadha later tells Vicky that if there is a demand then there must be a supply, which is why Vicky keeps filling cups and gets paid. We see multiple scenes of him coming out of the room and handing the nurse a cup full of healthy semen. Dr. Chadha explains that Vicky's sperm is so valuable because it has all the qualities. We see Vicky playing cricket, and Dr. Chadha explains that he plays cricket like professionals, and he can lie to people that the sperm is related to famous cricketer. We also see Vicky dancing and singing, and Dr. Chadha thinks that this makes him like a pop star, and he can advertise this with his clients for some extra money. We see many couples requesting for his sperm, and almost all women are getting pregnant. The demand for his sperm rises, and knowing that Vicky informs Dr. Chadha that he is increasing the price for his donation and will now charge much more for his valuable sperm since people prefer it over other donors. We see Vicky buying luxurious things and counting money as his payments increase over time. He even manages to renovate his entire house and buy a new car. He thinks that this is a fair deal because the couples are getting what they want, which is a healthy baby, and in return he is getting what he wants, which is huge sums of money. Dr. Chadha keeps treating women who were impregnated by Vicky's sperm as Vicky keeps shopping and keeps enjoying life like a rich person. He starts to spend money wildly and renovates his mother's beauty parlor. He fulfills all his dreams with the money he is making. At first, he openly discloses he is a sperm donor to his friends, but after repeatedly looked down upon, he starts to keep it a secret. Vicky falls in love with Ashima when they go for a ride in his brand new car. At first, Ashima is repelled by Vicky and his attitude, but slowly becomes attracted to him. After dating, they admit they are in love and want to get married. Ashima also discloses that she was briefly married to a Bengali, who left her immediately after their wedding because he loved someone else. When she asks Vicky about his status, he hides the fact he is a sperm donor, feeling ashamed of it. Despite initial friction between Vicky's and Ashima's families due to conflicting cultures, they convince their families and get married. After their wedding, Vicky stops donating sperm because he wants to be faithful to Ashima. It is later discovered that Ashima is infertile and Vicky, with a heavy heart, takes care of her. One day while looking at the doctor's reports, Ashima cannot find Vicky's reports and asks him where they are. He admits to not having taken the fertility tests because of his past as a sperm donor. Ashima becomes extremely upset when she finds out that her husband has multiple children, whereas she is unable to bear any child herself. She is also upset that he lied to her. Ashima goes back to Kolkata to her father's house due to these recurring conflicts and the fact that Vicky was a sperm donor and how he hid that truth her. Vicky is extremely upset as he loves Ashima a lot and cannot live without her. One night he gets a frantic call from his mother, who claims that income tax agents have raided her beauty parlor. Vicky rushes to her aid. Once there, he is arrested on suspicion of handling black money. While at the police station, Vicky is bailed out by Dr. Chadha and he clears the air with the police about Vicky's money. He explains that he is a sperm donor and the money was from the parents who used Vicky's sperm. After being released by the police, Dr. Chadha and Vicky have a chat. Vicky explains that Ashima has left him because she came to find out about his work as a sperm donor and also because of the fact that she is infertile. Dr. Chadha tells him that he will fix his marriage. He asks Vicky to bring Ashima to a guest house where he will host an event. Vicky is reluctant because he is not sure if Ashima will be willing to come with him. After Vicky has a chat with Dr. Chadha, he goes home to his mother. She is very upset with him and slaps him. She is angry with him about the sperm donation. While his grandmother is also clearly upset, she points out that Vicky brought happiness and joy to those parents, and that's all that matters to her. She then encourages Vicky to go to Kolkata and bring Ashima back. Vicky then goes to Ashima's father's house and tries to apologize for his deception. Although she is reluctant, Ashima's father sets her straight and tells her that Vicky is a good person and that she should not leave him because she is envious of him being able to have children. She agrees to go with Vicky to Dr. Chadha's event. Dr. Chadha called all the families who received Vicky's sperm to a 25th anniversary party for his clinic. She then sees how Vicky has brought happiness into the family's lives. Dr. Chadha then takes Vicky and Ashima to an orphanage. The doctor explains that while tracking down two of the kids who Vicky fathered, he came across one child who has lost her parents in a car accident and she was put up in an orphanage. He suggests that Vicky and Ashima should adopt her. They happily agree and reconcile with each other. The movie ends with Dr. Chadha calling Vicky again. He informs him that there is a request for his sperm and if he willing to donate again. With Ashima's approval, he agrees. To watch many more exciting recaps like this, don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Let us know in the comments section about your favorite movie that you would like us to recap next. Thanks again for watching, stay safe and healthy.